Live from Connecticut's news leader, this is NBC 30 News at 11.
For the third time in 3 months, a Connecticut community mourns the shooting death of a teenager. Good evening, I'm Lisa Carberg. 14-year-old Jose Pagan is the first murder victim in New Britain this year, but the latest in a series of attacks on Connecticut teenagers. And once again, police say they're looking for whoever killed an innocent victim. NBC 30's Amy Parmenter is live at New Britain Police Headquarters with the latest. Amy.
Lisa, it's a story that has become all too familiar, and yet it gets no easier to tell. Tonight, a 14-year-old is dead of a gunshot wound, and once again, police say the victim was not the intended target.
We're gonna miss him a lot.
Another shooting, another family in mourning.
This is wrong. This is wrong. This needs to stop.
Police say it was about 5 a.m. when someone sprayed this house at 236 Clinton with gunfire.
The whole neighborhood heard the shots this morning, and we seen the light. You know, it was really horrible.
Shell casings litter the street outside, but at least one bullet found its way inside and struck and killed a 14-year-old sleeping in a first-floor bedroom. Neighbors have identified the victim as Jose Pagan, described as a good kid who had recently become a father.
It's really a shame that he had to die so young. He was a really sweet boy. I seen him back and forth. He helped his mother out. You know, he was a really good kid.
Family members lashed out at suggestions early on that he may have been targeted.
Find me the cop that told you that. I want to confront him.
And now police also believe that's not the case.
And I guess the moral to the story is the good die young.
New Haven knows the story all too well. In June, 13-year-old Joanna Cole was killed by a stray bullet, and last weekend, 13-year-old Justice Suggs was shot and critically wounded while riding his bike. Now, no word on what sparked the shooting this morning in New Britain. So far, there have been no arrests, and police have named no suspects. Tonight, in fact, police are asking anyone who knows anything about the shooting to call New Britain Police. We're live in New Britain this evening. I'm Amy Parmenter, NBC 30 News.
Thank you, Amy. 3 people were injured tonight trying to escape from a burning apartment building in New Haven. Flames were coming from the first floor when firefighters arrived at the building on Norton Street. Firefighters managed to put the blaze out while tenants were evacuated. Some waited around to find out if and when they could get back into their apartments. One tenant tells us it's hard to know when the fire alarms are real.
Smoke alarm goes off and no one pays attention, so you don't know when it's an emergency. And this time it was, and at first we didn't pay attention. That could happen, you know, it could have been a lot worse.
She was able to evacuate her children down a fire escape. No word on what sparked the fire. The injuries are not believed to be life-threatening. Tonight, a 21-year-old Hartford man is dead, the victim of a shooting. Hartford police responded to Standish Street just after midnight after getting a report of a fight with gunshots fired. They discovered the victim inside a car at the intersection of Franklin Avenue and Bond Street. He was rushed to Hartford Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Police are not releasing the victim's name until his relatives can be notified. Route 315 in Simsbury was closed this afternoon after a deadly accident involving a vehicle and a motorcycle. It happened at Quarry Road around 12:30. Police say a motorcyclist lost control of his bike and a driver going west on 315 then hit the biker. The vehicle and the bike then went up in flames. The victim has not been identified. The power is coming back on for people in Meriden after an underground explosion. 495 homes and businesses still have no power tonight, down from almost 5,000 this afternoon. CLMP blames a fire in the underground electrical system that services Meriden's downtown area. It happened just after 6 a.m. at the intersection of West Main Street and Butler. Decision 2006 and this final weekend before Tuesday's Democratic primaries has candidates reaching out to voters all across Connecticut. Actor Danny Glover bringing some star power to New Haven Mayor John DeStefano's campaign. DeStefano is vying for the Democratic nomination for governor. He talked about having the politically active Glover making this visit.
And that's what's great about having him come back today, because the election is all about change. 4 more years of the same or change. And that's what he does. He gets folks excited and sees possibility.
The campaign stop was at the New Haven Summer Basketball League. His opponent, Dan Malloy, stopping in New Britain, where he says his support is strong on the final days of campaigning for the Democratic nomination. Malloy spent time meeting with people and visiting with local business owners.
I feel great. I honestly do. We're going to win this thing. We did it at the convention the same way we're doing it here, where we come from behind and we win, and then we go on till November election.
And Malloy picked up the backing of another Connecticut newspaper today with an endorsement from the Day of New London. The hopefuls for the Democratic nomination for U.S. Senate are going into high gear this weekend. Ned Lamont greeted supporters and staffers in the North End of Hartford. Then he went door to door, greeting potential voters. His schedule also included a gospel fest in New Haven and an appearance at the Litchfield Jazz Festival, where he also appeared with actor Danny Glover. And Senator Joe Lieberman did not campaign today because of the Jewish Sabbath. Tomorrow, he's scheduled to get the backing of a number of notable national Democratic figures. In Stamford, he will campaign with Washington, D.C. Democrat Eleanor Holmes Norton and the mayor of Newark, New Jersey. Tomorrow night, he and fellow Democratic Senator Christopher Dodd will appear at the Waterbury Italian Festival. A rare Saturday opening for Hartford's Registrar of Voters, allowing people to register. About a dozen city residents took advantage of the opportunity today, including Elena Murray, who has never voted before and now wants her vote to count.
When you have kids in school, grandkids, and, stuff like that, you need to see them going right. You need the best for them.
According to the Office of the Secretary of the State, since May, 27,000 new voters have registered. 10,000 are Democrats, and as Democrats